Could you learn something from Brady as his backup? As many years
Oh
as you
my
were in the
gosh, yeah.
league and you were with, Drew Brees and Sean Payton, and what could Brady teach you that nobody else could
Yeah.
teach you?
I mean, I've backed up some pretty good quarterbacks, Breeze, Alex Smith, um, and I think what's interesting to me because I'm obviously friends with Blaine Gabbert, and Blaine backed him up in Tampa for a few years, and Blaine was because I picked his brain. We were backing up Mizzouga, and I was like, dude, Blaine, because we're pretty close. I was like, hey, how is it backing up Brady, man? He's like, dude, it is awesome. Like he's a cool dude. Like he does like, and that was pretty cool to me. Is like like Brady is this big time celebrity, way bigger than football. And he said he's just a normal guy, and that's what I enjoy. Like I don't like, and I've been around some people, and I'm not going to name names, but there's some people that just think that they're just all high and mighty, and that it doesn't. But like he said, he's very just like he's very content, he's very cool, very down to earth. But I think with what Brady would teach you is like, I want to know, like, obviously, like the football X's and O's are cool, but like there's all these little things like how he doctors up the football. I'm not talking about Deflategate, but there's this mud. There's this mud
Wait a
on the
minute.
football.
Hold on here. Here we
No, I'm
go.
serious
We got
because every
Mudgate.
single quarterback,
We got
Mudgate, yeah,
Mudgate.
it's this Mississippi mud, and he has
Is
all
this
like
what
when
they
I
put on baseballs?
yes, and when I used to play them, the footballs are such like this like golden brown color, so stick. Every quarterback has this mud, and it's legal. You can do it, but his were just like extra shiny, and it was that Tom Brady effect on it. So like that, or like how he like makes sure that like he's crazy about his like palm, his on his forearm to make sure it's not sweaty when you're throwing the football. And he has this like this stuff that he does. He stuffs this a towel down his center's butt. Like all this stuff is so interesting to me. That's what I would want to know, because I know for a fact there's so many more things like that.
Wait.
Because
What's that
once you're
matter
along the
if the
14,
back of your right hand is dry or not?
yeah. So anything at all, like if you're sweating, that's why Brady used to always wear sleeves, and he always had to have a hand muff on him. When you're sweating, the sweat drips down and gets onto your palm. Okay. And when it's on your palm, it then becomes on your pinky. And when you're throwing, I'm telling you right now, it's awful. So he always had a towel. He was crazy about that. And that's one thing Blaine told me, like, hey, there's this like some type of thing he puts on it. And then like, it's this whole routine that those are the little bitty things that make quarterbacks great that they think about, that I would have loved to be his backup
Okay,
for.
explain this to me, and I've mentioned this on the show before. When Brady and Deflategate, and do I think that somebody deflated the ball? Yes, and I have no problem with it. It was lying to the commissioner. Aaron Rodgers came on the show years ago, and he said, I overinflate the ball, and no one said a thing.
Yeah.
Why have a rule? Why have a rule where you get to use the football and then I get to use my football? Who cares?
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. I've never once in my 14 years playing, or even this year covering, heard of a quarterback who overinflates the ball. Like that to me is crazy. Like obviously, like there is an advantage to underinflating a ball because it's easier to throw. And it's like by 1 or 2 PSIs. It's not that crazy. So it is a little bit weird that you have this like 12 and a half to 13 and a half PSI that the ball has to be within. And I've always enjoyed, if you don't have huge hands, like underinflate the ball. So I get it, but I don't necessarily think that I mean, maybe in cold weather games, and that's what's so crazy about Aaron Rodgers. He liked to overinflate it because the ball expands no matter what in cold weather. And so he would underinflate it. And I guarantee you, if they tested those balls in Deflategate during the middle of those really cold games, they would be within the 12 and a half to 13 and a half PSI range, because it's freezing cold in all those games he's playing in January and February. So it's interesting to me on that with the Aaron Rodgers thing for sure.